Hey, you passionate people out there, it's me, Dhriti Kathuria. In this video, we will be completing with our topic Indian Parliament. So, let's get started. Continuing with General Rules of Procedure. The General Rules of Procedure deal with the procedure and the conduct to be followed in both the houses. It lays down the parliamentary procedures and rules according to which the parliament must function. It also lays down the procedure according to which the parliament must table and pass a bill or other kind of legislation. It also deals with the structure and function of the standing committees on different matters. These rules are fundamental for the genuine working and functioning of the parliament. Coming down to parliamentary control over financial matters. Financial matters in India are largely controlled by the parliament. This control includes control over revenue matters and expenditure related issues. As stated in the Constitution in Article 265, which states no tax can be collected by the executive authorities without any law supporting it. If tax imposed upon anyone without having legislative backing, then the person can go to court for redressal. Parliament hold control over the Consolidated Fund of India. Its control over the expenditure is pivotal. The Consolidated Fund of India is the reservoir of all the expenses and finances of India. Parliament thus exerts full control over the expenditure. Coming down to parliamentary committees. Parliamentary committees are made to ease the scrutinizing of the legislative and other matters of the parliament. मतलब कि संसदीय समितियां सांसद के विधायी और अन्य मामलों की जांच को आसान बनाने के लिए बनाई जाती हैं. These committees can be classified as standing committees, which are permanent, and ad hoc committees that are temporary and are constituted according to the need. Parliamentary committee can be classified as a standing committee, which is permanent in nature, and a ad hoc committee, which is temporary in nature. Among the standing committees, the Estimate Committee, Public Accounts Committee, and Public Undertaking Committees are the major ones. 17 different standing committees for different departments are also constituted for easing the business. For example, committees of petitions, committee of privileges, and lastly, committee on papers laid. The ad hoc committees, which are more of temporary committees, addresses matters like committees on 5-year plans, the Joint Committee on Buffer Agreement, Committee on Food Management in the Parliament, etc. Language to be used in Parliament. The official language of India can be used in the Parliament of India, that is Hindi and English. Article 343 of the Indian Constitution provides for the official language of India. The members can also use any of the scheduled languages while in discussion or debate. Restrictions on the discussion in the Parliament. Constitution of India forbids the Parliament to legislate and discuss certain matters to keep the doctrine of separation of power intact. मतलब कि भारत का संविधान सांसद को कुछ मामलों पर कानून बनाने और चर्चा करने से रोकता है. Article 121 of the Indian Constitution talk about these provisions, which states that any discussion regarding the conduct of the judges of the Supreme Court or judges of any High Court cannot take place. However, the discussion can happen in the question of the impeachment of a judge. मतलब कि सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के न्यायाधीशों या किसी उच्च न्यायालय के न्यायाधीशों के आचरण के संबंध में कोई चर्चा नहीं हो सकती. हालांकि किसी जज पर महाभियोग चलाने के सवाल पर चर्चा हो सकती है। The Controller and Auditor General of India. The Controller and Auditor General of India, in the words of the architect of Indian Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, is one of the most important officers which the Constitution provides for, as he or she looks after finances and expenditure by the Parliament. मतलब कि The Controller and Auditor General of India सबसे महत्वपूर्ण अधिकारियों में से एक हैं जिसे संविधान प्रदान करता है, क्योंकि वह सांसद द्वारा वित्त और व्यय की देखभाल करता है। The Controller and Auditor General of India is not accountable towards anyone but the public, as he or she looks after the public purse of the nation. Article 148 of the Constitution talks about the appointment of the Controller and Auditor General of India and his oath. He or she also derives authority from the Controller and Auditor General's duties, powers, and Condition of Service Act 1971. Lastly, duties and powers. The major duties and functions of the Controller and Auditor General of India, according to the Indian Constitution, are: firstly, all the accounts of Union Government and State Government come under the ambit of audit by the Controller and Auditor General of India. Secondly, all the expenditures from the contingency fund and the public account are also audited by the Controller and Auditor General of India. Controller and Auditor General of India also audits all the expenditure and receipts by all the government authorities and undertakings. Controller and Auditor General of India can also audit all accounts of the local bodies on request of the President or the government. Lastly, the Controller and Auditor General of India also acts as a guide to the Public Accounts Committee in Parliament. That's all for today, guys. Stay tuned for upcoming videos. Hold on, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.